is like there's certain things I don't ever want them to have to experience when it comes down to being in a relationship. So I got into overdrive. I took everything that he said, and I went hard. So now it's like, yeah, so I mean, but that's just I mean that's life, and you know I always feel like I got a point to prove, whether it's to myself, my children, or to whomever. Like if I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna get it done. So it is what it is. Welcome back, listeners, and thank y'all for tuning in to a special edition of the Story Behind the CEO podcast. So I know it's a different look, and I know y'all used to me interviewing other people, but today I'll be interviewing me, or the voice behind the camera will be interviewing me. So normally you guys ask me a bunch of questions via social media, and when y'all see me out about my businesses, and sometimes even my personal life. So I know it's so much that y'all want to know about, you know, like one of y'all favorite CEOs. So we're gonna just dedicate this whole episode to me. So we have some questions from social media, and the voice that you're gonna hear behind the camera, that's Mo. So Mo is gonna ask me the questions, and I'm gonna give y'all some insight. So here we go. Take it away, Mo. What you got?
So the first question is, was becoming an entrepreneur always something you wanted to become? If not, what career path could you have seen yourself on?
Girl, first of all, let's talk about the fact that I wanted to be a teacher. Like, so I think that was the first thing that I ever wanted to be, was a teacher. And then I wanted to be, and I'm talking about, this is from growing up now. This ain't today. I could never deal with these kids now. So growing up, I wanted to be a teacher first, and then I wanted to be an actress because I wanted to entertain. So then I wanted to be a therapist because I thought I could help people with their problems. Can't do that. So so that was the three things that I saw myself doing. I didn't even know when I was growing up that you could be a photographer. I didn't know you could be a podcaster. I didn't know you could own your. I mean, I knew I could own my own business because majority of my life, you know, my dad owned his own business, so I knew like that was possible. I just didn't know that I wanted to be a business owner too. I didn't know that until I think until I started photography. Once
So,
I
so coming from being wanting to be an actress and a teacher and a therapist, what changed your mind and made you want to get into photography?
It was an accident. It was an accident. I went to go. I was working at Foot Locker. If for anybody who know me, you know, y'all know I worked at Foot Locker for the longest. When I was from the time I was like 17 till whatever. But I always go find me a little side job. I always find me a side job or a side hustle, cause a little bit of money you never enough. So I had moved. I moved to Alexandria, and to Alexandria, Louisiana, and I was working at a Champs out there, and I was a assistant manager at that store. And I went to go find me a little part-time job for the holiday. So there was a J.C. Penney connected to the Champs, or right next to the Champs. So I literally just went in there to find me a little part-time job. And I don't think I even knew J.C. Penney had a portrait studio. It's like in 2011. I don't know. So going there to find, to apply for a part-time job, and a girl, her name is Ashley. Ashley wound up offering me a manager position at a portrait studio. Never took pictures a day in my life. I thought it was gonna be like put the camera on the tripod thing, snap the picture of the kid. I didn't even understand everything that goes into it. So it was literally an accident. So basically, long story short, I got offered that job once. I got offered the manager position, but in order for me to take it, I had to move back to New Orleans, to the Gretna area, and take over the Oakwood store. So I do that. I was horrible. Like, I could sell the pictures, but like you could see like the top of the ceiling, you could see the wall. I'm talking about I was horrible. I did not understand composition. I didn't understand anything. I just was like, and the reason why I took the manager position, it was more money, because you talking about I took this position before I even knew what I was capable of doing, but it was more money. Um, and it was just, I don't know, it was just like just do it, just see, let's just see. Like I'm down for a lot of times, I'm down for whatever. I just be wanting to see. So I took the position. I came back. I worked on my photography for like a year with like more training. It's so much more that went into that, but it took me like a year to get it to where I needed to be, and to get to where I can train other people to do the same thing. But once I caught on to it, that was it. So once I caught on to it and I figured out what I was doing, and the way they had it set up, it'll be like for holiday time and stuff. Well, really all the time. You do like 15-minute sessions, and then you have to go sell these people these different packages. And so it was just like one day it just clicked. Like I'm doing these 10-minute sessions. These people spending $250 to $300 per person every time. I'm like, this is my work. This is my creativity. This is my everything. And I'm just getting paid hourly. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, shit, I could do this. But I didn't understand. So again, it goes back to me thinking it's just so easy. You know what I'm saying? Or not that even it's so that it's so easy. It's just that I was okay with taking a chance. So I get my camera. I think I got a camera for like Christmas or something, because I had been saying, I was going to start the business, and then I wound up getting a camera for Christmas. So I just kind of started doing it on my own. It was a hustle, and then we turned the hustle into a business after I realized, like, iron out all the kinks. And I'm not perfect at all. But after I ironed out enough kinks to make it a business, that was it. So it was literally, to sum it all up, it was literally me being there and seeing my work on like a monitor, and I did all that. And these people spending X amount of dollars every time they walk out of here, and I'm like, I could be making $2,000-3,000 a day by myself, but I'm only making a couple of hundred a day, doing it that way. So that was it. That was literally it. I'm like, all right, let's go. And then, I go head first and went full on entrepreneur after that.
Okay, good. So what are the downsides of being a successful entrepreneur?
More money, more problems.
Yeah.
More money, more problems. I think I saw the downside for the first time the end of last year, beginning of this year, because my business grew way past what I thought it would within 1 year. So the clientele that I was used to having, everybody love us. Everybody fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? So you go way past that clientele. You get new people coming in. Everybody don't love you no more. Now people got problems. Now people got questions. People got complaints, and you just can't make everybody happy. But you do what you can. So I'm gonna say for me that was the downside, just that, and then also I think the team part, making sure I have enough people in place at all times to be able to manage everything that's going on. That can go really well, or that can go really shitty really fast, depending on what other people have going on. So I would say that's the only downfall, but the only downside, but you can always make that a positive. You know what I'm saying? So it just gives you go in, you see what's going on, you reassess the situation, and you keep it moving. That's it. So it was it was just, I took it personal, and I shouldn't have. So I took it personal once, like, the backlash started coming. And that's just what's going to happen as you grow. You're not going to be able to make everybody happy. Everybody not your customer either. So I had to deal with a few people that wasn't my customers before, when the last couple of years has been, the clientele, that was my clientele. So it just kind of grew on me and snuck up on me, and that's what happened. So this episode is sponsored by the one and only CrownMeCollections.com. Kingdom rises and overcomes world negativity to embrace destiny. If that's the brand you can stand behind, then shop with us. www.crownmecollections.com, or visit our Instagram page and click the link in the bio at CrownMeCollections LLC.
You say you took it personal.
Mm-hmm.
So who is Sade?
Uh, I am a wife. I am a mother to 4 different kids with 4 different personalities, and I'm a business owner. Um, sorry, I am a business owner. I have the Story Behind the CEO podcast. I have my photography studio, Crown Photography, and I have my clothing brand, Crown Me Collections. That's who I am. Full-time entrepreneur, full-time mother, full-time wife. That's me.
Okay. How did you start up so many businesses in such a short period of time?
Wasn't no short period of time. Y'all saw this. It looked like a short period of time over social media. It wasn't. Nothing was short. My photography was my first business, like we talked about. But I think I started my photography in 2017, like taking it serious. But I started shooting in like 2012 or 13. Um, so it just took me time to develop into the entrepreneur that I wanted to be. Um, the clothing brand came about a year after, and then we just, the podcast we just started last year. So it wasn't, nothing was a short period of time. Everything kind of happened over time. But once I started one business and I realized like this is really my lane, then it was easy to start something else. Now, do I recommend that you go and start this, and this? No, I recommend that you master something first and then go on to the next. But to go back to what you said, it just was not a short period of time. Everything literally happened over the course of years. Even me getting my studio, when I first became a photographer, last year, well, have we been here a year? So we've been in our own studio a year. We been in the studio. We were sharing studio space with somebody else since the pandemic. Was that 19?
Yeah, 2019.
1920. So I've only accomplished these couple of goals within the last couple of years. So nothing happened overnight. Everything just kind of it just had to kind of run its course. So when I was ready, I would move on to the next step.
Okay. Somebody wants to know, how did you make it work having so much going on in your life? Your kids, your life, your business.
All of my children are very self-sufficient. So that's the first thing. Everybody have to be super self-sufficient. Even the baby. And I mean, she all like to be, but that's just what it is. Because everybody gotta help out. So we have a lot of talks in our house, so everybody, understand what it is. It's grind season. It's going to be grind season for a little while. I'm not going to be able to back up off of any of my businesses anytime soon. And I had to come to reality with that, and so did everybody else in my household. So everybody knows what the goal is. Everybody knows what the day-to-day is going to be before the day comes. So we have routines. I'm not good at keeping routines in place, and I will admit that 100%. But everybody has routines, and I have a great support system. I think the support system thing surpasses everything. Grandparents are there. One phone call, grandparents are there. My sister. It's just an awesome support system. Everybody knows what's going on, and so everybody just do their part. So that's what we make it work.
So at what point did you realize being your own boss was the right move for your family?
Well, when I realized that I can't work for nobody. And at what point? I got fired from my job. I wish I knew the time, the year. I want to say in 2017, I got fired from the photography job that I took. And I was already starting my photography business. So once I got fired, and the reason behind me getting fired, it wasn't even really a reason. It was just more of I wanted to run my store how I wanted to run it, and they wanted ran a different way. Numbers don't lie, so it was working. But at the end of the day, certain people don't like to see certain people in certain positions. I'm gonna just leave it like that. And so I got fired. No real reason, just it just was what it was. And I think that's when it clicked. Like I had already started doing my own thing, But it was like, nah, you need to really go hard and do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? So I went back to work after that twice. I had two jobs afterwards because it was still a journey to get to this point to where I didn't have to work a 9 to 5 at all. So I think just understanding that those kind of situations don't work for me. It works so much better me on my own and me doing my own thing. I'm just a natural born leader, and it wouldn't make any sense at all for me to have certain talents and for me to just be as dope as I am and working for somebody else. Like, some people can do that, and some people are great workers. I'm a great leader, and I knew that a long time ago. I just didn't know. But and to go back to the other question, that's where the teaching and the therapy thing kind of came from, was me being able to help other people and to talk to other people and stuff like that. So I'm just a natural born leader. That's what it is, and I can't be on nobody's clock because my mouth too slick. It don't work.
Next question is, what was the hardest part about starting your first business?
Starting. Because, again, it was a side hustle at first. I wanted it to be a business. But I think I didn't know all of the details on how to make it a business. And, I mean, I'm still learning a lot of stuff now. But starting is going to always be the hardest part, because you have too many negative thoughts running through your head. Well, what if this happened? Well, what if these people don't take to what I'm doing? What if it don't work? What if I mess up? Because all that's gonna happen. Period. You're gonna have people that love you, and then you're gonna have people that don't love you so much, and it's gonna be things that's gonna trip you up when you're trying to start it. That makes it a little bit more difficult because it looks easy. It always looks easier than what it is. So I think starting.
So it's actually the fear of starting and not the operation of the business.
Both, because that was Keita, by the way. Y'all heard Keita.
I'm sorry.
No,
I had to dig more in.
It's fine. So it was the fear of starting because you don't know what's going to happen. It's the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. The operations too, but the operation fear came a little later when I realized that, yes, okay, now I'm going to start, and I'm starting. The operation thing kind of messed with me later on, because I really had to figure out how I wanted everything to run and how everything was supposed to go. And I change stuff all the time, so I'm still doing that, but starting. So I definitely strongly 100% encourage anybody to just start. Like, I think I spoke with a girl yesterday, and she wanted to start a particular business, and we had about a 10-minute conversation. And I listened to her tell me 101 reasons why she should not start that business, or why she did not start that business that she's been trying to start for a year. Start. Period. People gonna love you and people gonna not love you. It's fine. Flock to the ones that love you. Start. You're gonna get some. You do it you operate from a place of integrity, and you do it with your whole heart. You're gonna mess up and things gonna happen. So start. That's like the new word for the day, start.
So when did you realize you needed a team for your business?
Girl. Christmas 2000, what's this? This is 22?
Yeah.
Not 21? 20. Christmas 20. I had one person working with me Christmas of 2020. And I think I was up to like 4 o'clock in the morning editing pictures and trying to get them sent out digitally, get the prints done. Had to go back the next day and shoot, like starting at like 8, 9 o'clock, because we was shooting from like 9 in the morning to like 8 o'clock at night. So I would shoot all day, and I was the only person at that time editing all my stuff. So yeah, I didn't have no sleep. I wasn't going to the gym, no nothing, and I was real heavy with my training at that time. And I had to miss the whole month of December because I wasn't even sleeping to be able to go to the gym in the morning and then go do what I had to do. It was strictly work, and that was just too much for me. And I was working on Christmas Day. Like, we didn't go anywhere. We was home, with the kids and stuff. But for me not to even have a moment to take a break, it's Christmas. Yeah, my kids don't open the gifts. Yeah, they playing with all this stuff. They doing whatever. They're not entertaining me, but it's Christmas. I shouldn't have to pull out my laptop on Christmas and do anything. Period. So yeah, that's when I realized I'm like, nah, we gotta get some people up in here. And let me tell y'all what happened. Let me tell y'all how this happened. Let me make sure I get this right here. So Christmas, that was 2020, we said?
Yes.
Okay, so Christmas of
2019.
19?
No, I'm lying. 2020.
Okay, so Christmas of 20, y'all. I had somebody roll up in my studio, come and take family pictures, right? So they come and take family pictures with their family, and so I knew this person from school, but like we never talked to her like that. So she come roll up in there, and she asked me for a job. So I'm like, yeah, hit me up in January. That girl hit me up in January. I don't know what the hell I was doing in January, but I was like, all right, yay. That girl hit me up again.
I'm a stalker. I've been told a time or two.
Yeah, and so she stalked me for the job, and then we finally got together and did everything, and then that's the other voice you hear in the background. That's Keita. She's been with me ever since, and that's probably the best thing I ever did. The best thing I ever did. I think that number one, we can't do it all. I think you can do it all when you first start out. You can do it all when the volume is small, but as you grow, your business has to grow, and you cannot be afraid to pay people to help you, because it brings you're able to do more business. You're bringing more money in. So when I kind of got over all of that, then the whole team building thing started, and then I'm still building. Because things happen. Some people stay, some people don't, and then the business just keep growing. So you literally need somebody for every single thing, and that's just where I'm at now. So I had to just get, again, fear, like just being afraid, like you're not giving your money away, by paying somebody to help you. Once you get to a certain point, and that's it. I just had to get over that, and it was just time. It was just time, and we never go backwards. Every year we outdo ourselves from the previous year. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. If I was gonna keep outdoing myself, I need a team. Period.
What is next for Crown Photography?
Girl. We want more schools. So we do a lot of daycares, and we want more. I think that's one of my biggest focuses for 2022. To get those more schools locked down, and to build a bigger team. So I'm gonna keep saying it, so we can have somebody everywhere, and the money just coming in from from all different avenues, not just from being in the studio.
How has the pandemic changed your personal and professional life?
So the pandemic was actually a help. In 2019, I was still working a regular job, and I was shooting part-time in my house, part-time in somebody else's studio, paying them, and then part-time in my hairdresser's hair salon. So the end of 2019, right when like the COVID era kind of was first coming, I found a side hustle. And I found a side hustle doing like the Facebook bingo, Facebook and Instagram bingo thing that you saw everybody doing. Well, that helped me a whole lot, because I was able to make well over 6 figures doing it. I was able to pay off, and mind you, I'm saying it's helping me because when I started doing this, everybody was home. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was home, and I guess phones glued to their hand and stuff like that. So it was easier to start something like that. So everybody was home. We was playing. I was doing the bingo thing day and night. I literally the last job that I had, I wound up, between me doing the bingo and my photography picking up at the end of that year, I quit. Because I was making more money before I went to work than I would make that whole day being at work. And again, this is because the bingo thing was popping. Everybody was home. The casinos closed. Shit was starting to shut down. So people had nothing else to do. So we gambling all night till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. And so that helped me be able to get everything that I needed for my business, because I was opening up my studio January of 2020. So I went in with somebody. We got the studio together January of 2020, and then everything shut down. Everything shut down. Still got to pay the bills. Everything. The show still got to go on. So I took my side hustle, and I built up my props, everything that I needed. I used that money to pay off every debt that I have, everything. Do a couple of more things like around the house, and then make sure I had everything going to my studio, because I knew at some point that was going to stop, that the world was going to open back up and we was going to go back to a regular schedule program. So I milked it as long as I could. But I know had it not been a pandemic, that part wouldn't have happened. And so things would have been a bit different. So I'm, in some ways, in a lot of ways, I ain't mad because I was able to make what I made in a matter of like six months before everything kind of started slowing down. So I'm cool. Like the pandemic, you know, gave us a nice boost to be able to, you know, run full speed for the rest of 2020 and beyond. Glad I learned how to flip money early.
Come on now. So this one is asking about Crown Me Collections, your clothing line.
Mm-hmm.
Or Crowned.
I know everybody call it Crown now.
Your clothing line. What is one thing you wish you knew before launching your clothing line?
Girl, where to get my vendors from, how to find the manufacturers. Cause girl, let me tell you, girl, I think I was y'all, this is so ghetto. This is so ghetto. When I was getting my my hats and my shirts and stuff. So this was like before. This was when Crown wasn't Crown. Crown was Crown Me. I was getting everything made at a kiosk in the mall, y'all. I wish. I just know I wanted to do something. And that's why I say just start. Like I wanted to do something, I just did it. And over time, I got different information on how to get like the different vendors and stuff like that. Thank God for, you know, people who do want to help you and see you win. So I was able to get that information and kind of switch everything over, change up my logo, you know, do it the right way. I didn't know what pricing should have been. Just different things like that. Like I said, I just wanted to do something and I just did it. And I'm totally fine with, you know, going head first. Because it just, I feel like it just makes for a better story in the long run. So that was it, girl. I was getting my hats made from the kiosk. And then me and the man got into it, y'all. So then I had to go call my husband. And Jesus, I got banned from being, I'm not even much about to tell y'all that. But I got banned because we went up there ready to fight because I don't know if he messed over my money or he said it was supposed to be ready. Like all my stuff was supposed to be ready at one time, but it wasn't. It was, and we had to went on vacation, came back, shit still not ready. But I'm dealing with a kiosk in the mall, not like, you know. So I didn't even realize that wasn't how it was supposed to go at first because I asked no one anything. I just did it. So, you know, shit happens.
So how did you overcome rejection while trying to build a relationship?
I don't care about no rejection, job. I ain't gonna lie, I don't care about all that because it goes back to what I said. Some people gonna love you and some people not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it goes back to what I was saying about taking it personal. Like everything that happened last year, I was kind of taking it personal because things had just changed so much. But when you're talking about rejection and trying to build when you're trying to build relationships, you should be happy about those kind of things because that ain't where you're supposed to be at that time. Those are, whatever path you're trying to take, you're probably not supposed to be taking that path. That's why you got rejected or turned down or whatever. It's probably something way better for you. And I realized that early on in life, period. So I think my attitude just didn't allow me to be affected by the rejection because it's like, all right, so like move on next.
So somebody wants to know how many businesses is too many?
Whenever you have too many, you're making money from none of them. That's too many. that means that your focus needs to be on one. And I said that earlier. Master one thing and then go on to the next. Because, yeah, no. Yeah, that's my answer. I feel like I had more of an answer, but that's it. Like, if you're not making money, like you steady creating stuff that you ain't making money from none of it, focus on one thing, master that, and then go to the next thing.
What makes you happy?
Girl, let me tell you, California weather. California weather, breathing different air sometimes, meaning traveling, my kids, but then sometimes my kids piss me off, so I gotta travel because it gives me time to reset and come back. And every time I travel, I tell you no word to lie. Every time I go somewhere, I come back refreshed, but I always have some type of epiphany when I'm gone that makes me come back and go harder. It's like when I'm away from my regular everyday routine, it allows my creative juices to kind of expand a little bit. So I'm able to, just shake it up a little bit when I come back. So that makes me very happy. And being successful makes me happy too. It makes me happy because I know I never have to go back to where I was.
So what gave you the push to start your businesses and walk out on faith? I don't remember if we
asked that question before.
If you answered it, and I mean, it's kind of close, but I don't know if you answered it in another question.
The side hustle gave me the push because it was easy to do it once everything. So what I did was when I had the side hustle, I made sure I paid, like I said, I paid up all my debt, whatever debt I had, credit card bills, everything that I had, that I knew that, because I knew I wanted to go into my studio 2020. 2020 was it. That was it. It was going to be done. Either way you go, I was playing too much. So that gave me the push because once I discovered that, I was like, you know what? I could take all this money, pay off everything, get everything I need, and get myself cushion. Not a little bit of cushion like regular savings account cushion, like extra cushion. So that's what gave me the push. Like once I was in beast mode with that shit, with that side hustle shit, it just gave me everything that I needed. So and I was gonna do it either way it go. I was gonna do it. I was gonna do it whether I was ready or not, but I wanted to be ready because I just didn't want to make a crazy decision.
So somebody wants to know your advice on how to find good vendors.
How to find vendors?
Good vendors.
Oh, girl, research. So you have to do your research. I think everybody just be wanting people to give them the blueprint, like here you go. And sometimes that happens, and sometimes depending on whatever your lane is, whatever it is that you're trying to do, you need to do some heavy research. So everybody knows you got the two main apps that everybody gets stuff from, which is AliExpress and Alibaba or whatever. Get on there and start talking to different manufacturers or different vendors. Ask the right questions, and that's how basically one of the biggest ways how you decide. Also, depending on what your lane is, you get around people who are doing the same thing as you, who have the same goal as you. Sometimes people just share information. So yeah, it's all about research though. You're never gonna find the one answer from one person. You have to dive deep into whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Besides making more money, what do you want to see for your businesses in the next 5 years?
Making more money. More growth. Building a bigger team. Getting a bigger building, because I think we've been here. How long? Keita, we just got here in October.
In this particular one, yeah.
In this building, and then this spot, and then I think we outgrew it already. So definitely getting a bigger building, bigger space, bigger team, bigger money, all that. Because it gotta be. You can't say besides the money, because the money gotta fuel everything else. So yeah. Just growing my business past what I can even see or imagine.
And what's your advice on how to handle growth?
How to handle what?
Growth.
Growth? Let it happen. let it happen. But when you ask for certain stuff, when you manifesting, you are praying about certain stuff. Also ask for patience and prepare yourself to be able to handle whatever it is that you ask for. So if you're not prepared for the growth and the growth comes, you won't be able to sustain the growth, and you won't have longevity with the growth. But if you prepare yourself and you go hard, then yes, you'll be able to allow that growth to come in, blossom, and you move with it. What's your question?
So, do you ever feel overwhelmed? I mean, it's just so.
It's a lot.
It's just.
Do I? Yeah, you know when I those random trips, like, oh, we just about to go here for a couple of days. Yeah, that's when I'm.
But then you stopped that. I don't remember last.
I only stopped. Let me tell you why. Holiday season. That was it.
Gotcha.
I'm about to be back on a damn terminal. I don't got time for this. But yeah, I do feel overwhelmed a lot. I sit in my car a lot. When I come home, I sit in my car by myself for like 30 minutes before I go inside. I take a lot of time for myself.
So them chicken wings, huh?
Yes, eating chicken wings by myself, so I don't have to share with people.
So you just handle it in your own time, in your own space, because being by your side for this year, I have never seen that.
You never see?
You have had your moment of frustration, but it's just literally a moment, and it's like, okay, we gotta make it right.
That's it. Because you can't. Because I don't feel like I can sit there and bask in whatever just happened. It happened, I'm about to bitch about it. You probably gonna, yeah, I swear, if it happened at 8 a.m., you probably gonna stop hearing it to 8 p.m. You probably gonna hear it the next day too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna vent, I'm gonna say what I have to say. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm thinking in my head, okay, what can I do to make that better so that don't happen again? So me overreacting about it, I can't I'm dramatic, but I'm not going to overreact about it because I have to still move on. Like tomorrow, I still have to do this. Things still have to, the show has to go on. So yeah, I do get overwhelmed. I have like a bunch of kids and my house ain't never clean like I want it to be. And I don't even cook as much as I used to. So like dealing with like all that kind of stuff and thinking about all that stuff and then still having to be here, still have to meet deadlines and still having to deal with just the amount of clientele that we starting to have to deal with. It's a lot. But that comes with me putting people in place to be able to do other things as well. So, I mean, shit happens. So,
I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm going to let you. What is the motivation to keep you going on days that you want to give up?
Girl, I ain't got time. I ain't got time. Girl, I ain't got time to be sitting up there mad and crying. I'm going to do it. But I don't have time to mope like I would want to. I guess I can't throw myself a pity party. So I got kids, and I want this life that I saw for myself a long time ago. And so, in order for me to get there, I have to do whatever it takes. So, yeah, some days I don't want to, and some days it's good. Some days I don't want to, and I don't have to deal with the clients, deal with the customers, and deal with the outside world. I can shut it down. And some days I can't. I cannot do that, and I have to keep going. And I look at my bank account, and I say, "Bitch, you want to go back to 3 years ago, or you want to keep going from here?" That'll humble you real fast. Open up that fucking app, and click on that account. That'll humble you real fast.
So how does your husband feel about your busy schedule? And does he work with it? Because you know men, they little asses is needy.
Actually, he's probably the less needy person that I know. Extremely supportive when it comes down to everything. If I come inside and I say, so I gotta be in Atlanta 5 days next month, this day through this day, I'm gonna be flying out this day, I'll be back on this day. He just say, okay. That's it. And he makes sure our schedule as well. He makes sure his schedule aligns with mine properly, so that way he can be home with his children, and then and that's it. Like, I mean, he's really good about the supporting thing. Like, if I need different equipment and different things like that, he could, try to buy it and make sure I have everything that I need. He was a little skeptical before, I think, when everything kind of first kicked off. But I think I've proven myself time and 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 time again, to where now it's like whatever I say, I have to deal with it, I have to do. It's like, all right, because we definitely had a not so great conversation before the success kind of kicked off. So as supportive as he is, we did get to a point where it was it was kind of affecting everything. So I'm not much gonna say we had a conversation. I'm gonna say we had an argument a couple of years back about the fact that I wasn't as successful as he thought I should have been. But I think what he wasn't looking at was like everything kind of comes with time. And so and yeah, so some not so great words were said, and that put me into overdrive though, I tell you that. That put me into overdrive. Because I never want to feel how he made me feel on that date, and I never wanna for myself. So I think at that time I was getting ready to have Callie. That's right before Callie hit the scene. So for myself and for both of my daughters, it's like there's certain things I don't ever want them to have to experience when it comes down to being in a relationship. So I got into overdrive. I took everything that he said, and I went hard. So now it's like, yeah, so I mean, but that's just I mean, that's life, and you know, I always feel like I got a point to prove, whether it's to myself, my children, or to whomever. Like, if I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna get it done. So it is what it is.
So what's your advice on promoting your brand?
Don't be afraid to get in front of the camera. I think that was one of my biggest things. Don't be afraid to get in front of the camera, and and be consistent with it. So don't ever not do it. So consistency is probably one of the biggest things, one of the hardest things to keep up with. It's easy to do something for a day or two, but it's harder to do it for every day for a month, to where it becomes an actual habit. So I would say consistency. Be consistent when you promote your brand. Don't be afraid to spend money on marketing. Don't be afraid to get in front of the camera and and do it yourself. Girl, look, that was my biggest problem. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, because I'm like, girl, you see my eyebrows? Girl, you see this? Girl, you see my edges? I'm not getting in front of the camera today. I'm not doing it. But like, your goals have to be bigger than your fears. It just has to be. It has to be when you're talking about promoting. So I would definitely say have a marketing budget and go all out. Go all out as much as you can. Make sure you keep putting it in their faces. Make sure they keep seeing it.
So who are your entrepreneurial motivators?
Girl, David Shames. David Shames got me right now with these headphones on, child. David Shames and Donnie Wiggins, that's like my number one motivators right now. That's number one for me. And Dave has been for a while. I love his spirit, and I love the gems that he dropped, and I love the fact that I feel like he wants everybody to win. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. And I definitely somebody I want to learn from long term.
So, like you always ask everybody else, this is the final question, and they just want to know, what advice would you give to any young entrepreneur who are up and coming in the business world?
I think I gave it the whole time. Just start, sis. Just start. Do your research. Monetize your talents. Like, we're given so many different gifts. Sometimes I don't even think we realize how talented we are, and we don't act on it, or we don't monetize your gifts and your talents. I think that's one of the best ways to to hit the ground running without feeling like you're working. Find something that you're good at. Stay consistent with it. Stay consistent with it for 30 to 60 days to see if you like it before you just move on to the next thing, because
That's for me, y'all.
that's definitely hard. Stay consistent for 30 to 60 days and see, how you deal with it, because when you first, like, the starting up part is ugly and you don't want to do it and it's aggravating. You don't want to get out your bed and you don't want to do all these different things, but yeah, you have to start and you have to be consistent. So you have to start, you have to be consistent, and go hard for yourself. Bet on yourself. If nobody else don't do it, it's okay. You bet on you. And you keep putting it in front of their faces, and at some point they have no choice but to see what's going on. So that's definitely what I would say. And make sure you have tunnel vision, because it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to get distracted. That's really all I can say. Like, because starting a business or having your own business or doing whatever it is that you're trying to do, because it wasn't the norm growing up, is something different. It's kind of foreign. But it can be done. It can be done. Challenge yourself. Give yourself goals. Realistic goals, short term and long term. And get through those short-term goals first. And so once you get through the short-term goals over and over and over again, the long-term goal don't seem so bad.
Do you rewrite your short-term goals? Like, do you sit down and look at them? And
yeah, I rewrite my short-term goals all the time. Sometimes I surpass the goals before I want to. I'll be like, oh yeah, I did that already. So yeah, you always go back and you readjust and you keep it moving. That's how you keep things. What I'm trying to say, like, that's how you keep it going. That's how you keep it going. So